Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson, and I'm joined with my good friend, Miguda. Miguda, how are you doing, sir?
I'm fine, bro. How are you doing over there?
Niko salama salmini. Labda kama uko na habari ambayo labda utatupasha ama uko na habari ya kutupasha sisi tusikie, ambapo labda inaweza kuwa ni mpya huko kwako.
Huku kwetu kuna mvua nyingi sana. Mvua imenyesha.
Mm.
Hiyo ndio mapya tuko nayo kwa ground.
Ah,
Na
unajua
pia nimekuwa mzito. Nimeona katibu mkuu wa wafanyikazi sasa tuone
actually.
akishtumu kina Rigathi Gachagua.
Mm. Na sasa tuseme tu kwa ukweli, kwa sababu unajua nchi ya Kenya tunajivunia kwamba tunasema kwamba ni nchi ambayo ni ya demokrasia, ambapo mtu amekubaliwa kutoa hoja zake ama kuelezea watu mawazo yake, kwa sababu katiba inaruhusu hiyo. So mbona nawakosoa lakini?
Ni kama anataka kutumia ile njia ya dikteta. Kwa sababu najua kwamba nchi ya Kenya ni nchi ya demokrasia na kila mwananchi ako na haki ya kukosoa serikali na kila
Yeah.
mwananchi ako na haki ya kuzungumza baina ya wengine na kila mwananchi ako na uhuru ya kushirikiana na wenzake, Wakenya wenzake. Kuna uhuru ya kushirikiana na mtu yote unapenda. Si lazima unichagulie marafiki zangu, si lazima unichagulie wale ambao nafaa kushirikiana nayo. Niko na uhuru ya kuchagua peke yangu, niko na uhuru ya kuzungumza. Alafu kuna jamaa anakuja anakuambia ati unafaa kufanya hivi, unafaa kusema hii. Anataka kuambia kufamulia kitu tunasema na tutafanya. Na mimi hiyo si dictator.
Siwezi sema kwamba kweli tunaweza sema kwamba ni udikteta, lakini jambo pia lazima ukubaliane na mimi ni kwanza, venye sisi tumeumbwa kitofauti sana. Jinsi unavyofikiria si jinsi mimi ambao mimi nafikiria. Kuna yale ambayo labda unaweza kuwa unatenda, unaona kama unatenda mema, lakini kwangu ni maovu. Yeah? So huwezi nilazimisha kwamba niseme kwamba yenye unatenda ni wema na kwangu mimi naona ni uovu. Mimi nasema kwamba hii ni uovu ambao mimi naona, si wema. Unaona? So ndio maana sasa unaleta hiyo mambo ya demokrasia, na hiyo pia inanikumbusha kuwa kuna wakati nilikuwa na mahojiano ama mjadala na jamaa fulani, alikuwa ananiambia, unajua ukitaka kukula na malkia lazima ujue uzito wa sahani ya malkia. Yeah? Kwa sababu usipojua uzito wa sahani ya malkia then usikule na yeye. So pia lazima Atwoli pia lazima azingatie, aseme kwamba ajue au pia ni mamalkia ama tuseme kwamba ni wafalme katika mizizi yao. So lazima ajue uzito wa sahani yao. So labda tu si kumkosoa, lakini yeye pia katiba imempatia nafasi ama ruhusa ya kukosoa kila mtu. Ama hapo ukubaliani na mimi?
Kama unanisikia, nakubaliana na wewe kwa asilimia kubwa, kwa sababu unapata kuna wale ambayo hata kama unafanya maovu, kama hiyo maovu inawafurahisha, hawakemei hiyo maovu. Na kama unafanya mazuri na hiyo mazuri kuna vile haiendi sambamba na hao, wanakemea hata kama ni ukweli, hata kama ni kitu ambacho kwa katiba, hata kama ni njia ya moja ya demokrasia. Wanakemea, wanataka tu iwe maovu, iwe kitu kizuri, lazima uongelee uzuri kuhusu wao. Wakati umelegeza kidogo ukizungumza isipokuwa wao wako na shida na wewe. Na hiyo ndio mimi naona kama hiyo katibu mkuu ya wafanyikazi anataka kuamulia watu kitu wafanye, kitu wafaa kufanya, kitu wafaa kufanya. Anaenda zaidi sana. Kaka nasema angekuwa rais wa nchi ya Kenya, yeye kibinafsi angetoa amri kwa waziri wa mambo za ndani ili afisha kwamba huyu jamaa amekamatwa na kuwekwa ndani. Juu ya kuzungumza tu. Sasa sielewi saa zingine hao viongozi wanakaa.
Unajua sana sana, unajua saa zingine nchini ama popote tukizungumzia demokrasia, kila mtu ama tuseme eneo lolote wanatafsiri demokrasia kwa njia tofauti ambayo labda inawafaa wao wenyewe. Kuna wale wanaona kwamba demokrasia kwao iko na umuhimu sana kuliko wengine, ambapo wengine hawafaa wazungumzi. Unajua, tukiangalia historia kabisa, mimi nimekuja kujua katibu mkuu ya wafanyakazi Mheshimiwa Atuoli takriban naweza sema kwamba wakati watu walienda walimu walienda mgomo ndio nikamsikia. Lakini pia kuna historia pia bado inanikumbusha hapa wakati ambapo Rais William Samoei Ruto alikuwa anagombea uraisi. Katika baadhi za mkutano wa Atuoli alisema kwamba Rais William Ruto hatawahi pata uraisi. Alisema hivyo. Kuna kanda za video ambayo labda ziko hapa katika mtandao zilikuwepo, na alikuwa sana alikuwa anamkemea sana kwa hoja zake ambazo alikuwa anatoa, lakini leo hii yeye mwenyewe kabadilika. Ni kama wanazungumza lugha moja na rais. So swali ni je, hapo unaona kwamba demokrasia imebadilika kulingana na yale alikuwa anasema hapo awali na kwa yale anasema kwa saizi? Demokrasia yake iko wapi, ama inaonesha nini kama sisi kama binadamu? Hey, Miguda, unanisikiza kweli?
Nakusikia vizuri, nimekupata vizuri.
Yeah.
Nilikuwa nasema hivi, unapata katibu mkuu wa serikali huyo wafanyakazi wakati wa uchaguzi wa mwaka uliopita alikuwa anakemea rais wa sasa hivi William Ruto ya kwamba hawezi karibia hiyo kiti, na alishauri wakaaji wa eneo wa Tarbo huko kwao ya kwamba wakate miti kwa sababu rais William Ruto angependezwa na matokeo. Vile rais William Ruto alitangazwa na kituo cha kupiga kura, yeye ndio mtu wa kwanza alijitokeza waziwazi kumpongeza rais William Ruto. Sasa tunataka kwamba kwa maoni yangu mimi naona kama yeye ni mzee ambaye anaunga mkono ili rais mwenye mamlakani aweze kufanya naye kazi vizuri. Wakati wa Raila alienda kusalimiana na Uhuru Kenyatta, alipongeza Raila na pia alijiandaa. Kila serikali ikiingia mamlakani anahakikisha kwamba anazungumza lugha ya serikali. Ndiposa express kazi yake ya kuwakilisha wafanyakazi. Naona tu ile njia moja yake ili hataki kupeleka kazi yake. Vile sasa nasema William Ruto anafanya neno hili ambaye ako na haki na uhuru ya kuzungumza. Lakini ningependa kuuliza iwapo Wakenya wataamua wachague mtu mwingine kutoka William Ruto, utampata tena amechagua rais mwingine amechaguliwa juu ili yule jamaa hatuwezi sasa zingine hatuwezi amini maneno zake, hatuwezi muamini kabisa. Ni katika kiwanja cha siasa.
Okay, asante sana, kwa sababu mimi naamini kuwa sisemi kwamba katiba imruhusu kutoa maoni katika mambo ambayo inajadiliwa katika jukwaa la siasa, lakini yeye pia kama ni mzee mkongwe ama mzee ambao tunaweza sema kwamba anaishi katika baadhi ya wale wazee, tunaweza sema kwamba ni mtu ambaye anaweza kuwa na hekima kuongea na vijana ambao wanakuwa, inafaa apatiane watu malekeo bila kuwa na egemeo upande zote, kwa sababu watu wanaamini kwamba yeye ni wale ambao tunasema wazee ambao wamekomaa, wazee ambao wako na tuseme kwamba tunaweza sema wako na hekima. Unaona, unatumia hekima yako kuongea na jamii yako ambao wanakuzunguka, kwa sababu wale labda unaongelea vibaya kesho, kwa sababu ni watu ambao wako katika mlingo wa siasa, utapata siku moja hao wanaweza kuwa katika uongozi. Aya, sasa hapa Yaga anasema Atuoli is an agent of darkness. When he supports you, you take a mirror and look at yourself 40 times. Hiyo ni Yaga anasema. Thank you so much Yaga for joining, and thank you so much everyone for joining. We were just still having a conversation in Kiswahili. We were just trying to sharpen, do we say that, our Kiswahili, but now Makobura can see you are here. Ayaga, you need to come into the studio because I had a conversation and somebody saying that you keep on changing your stance. Mara una support, mara saa zingine unakemea. Sasa wewe uko wapi, Mr. Ayaga? You should come and let us know your stand. Anyway, Makobura, how are you doing?
Yes, good evening. I'm doing good. Yeah, I
Yeah,
thank God. I
yes.
hope you're also doing good.
Yeah, we are doing good, and we just started the conversation. Yesterday, there was a launch of or a relaunch of DPK Party. The new brand was there. Quite a number of political figures were there, including the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Or Honorable Onyonka was standing in for Honorable Matiang'I. We had Kioni was not there. We had Kalonzo Musyoka, Rigathi Gachagua, yeah, and I saw Tony Gashoka. But uh, what this coalition or this meeting was about launching, but also there were some utterances that were made, especially regarding Gachagua, that was going bare knuckle on president and spoke about a few things that we might discuss it later in the studio. But what we are looking at when you see the coalition of Kalonzo Musyoka and Matiang'I and Eugene Wamalwa, do you think this is a coalition that can unseat the president 2027?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I've had your question, but I want to say that in politics, anything is possible,
Mhm,
and hata mimi
mhm.
nikijitokeza na nipate uungwaji mkono
Yeah,
kutoka kwa Wakenya, hata mimi hapa naweza nikamtoa kwa hiyo kiti. So in politics we cannot it's really tough to say that huyu hawezi ama huyu hawezi ama huyu anaweza.
mm,
But again, remember we still have some more years.
mhm.
Political realignments we're going to see. We've started seeing them,
Yeah,
and so far, I think it is right to say that the opposition side they are making a good step. I've seen the impeached deputy president. It's only Kalonzo who was not, but I think they are together
yeah,
because if you see Kioni, if you see Eugene Wamalwa, if you see Matiang'i,
mm,
Martha Karua, I can see them in one camp, and that is a clarification that they've started as well. They've started ganging up and getting ready for what is coming ahead of them.
yeah,
But again, the president has also started.
yeah.
He's been working, going to the Western Kenya. He's trying to, you know, uh, convince the people of Western that he is the best. He's the good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So of course, there is a possibility that if they gang up, I mean, if they come up together and come up with real issues
Yeah.
or real ways of solving the problems of the people of Kenya, then probably they can or they might get a chance come 2027. Uh,
Okay.
I just want to add one more thing.
Yeah.
Uh, we are in a democratic country and we are in Africa. We understand the fact that it is not easy in Africa for opposition
Yeah.
to defeat a president who is in power. But again, we have to understand and accept the fact that we're in a democratic country and there's a possibility that at some point or at one point
Mhm.
uh, the people or the citizen might not all of the times be supporting the person in power, that is the president.
Okay.
So my opinion is it is possible
Yeah.
depending on the moves that the opposition would take.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm seeing Alfred Ambonya. Thank you so much for joining on Facebook. I hope you're doing well and tell us where you're watching us from. I can see Judy Brenda Ayaga says that I said very well. I'm not in government at the same time. I'm not in opposition. Anyone who wants my solid stand, I'm standing on a rock called Babu Owino, and we shall make our plans clear. Thank you so much, Mr. Yaga. We will be waiting for that. Judy, unafaa kuwa na msimamo wa Yaga. Don't be neutral. Either you are in government or opposition. Thank you so much for that. Ayaga, that is for you. So I'm coming to you, Miguda. The same question that I'm going to ask you. Looking at the political development, we are seeing the DPK with the figures of Matiang'I and all the people who were there yesterday. Do you feel like this is a coalition that can threaten President William Ruto in terms of politics, bearing in mind that all those you are seeing, President William Ruto defeated them on their when they were on the same side with Gachagua. Now Gachagua is on the other side.
Was that my question or Mekuda's question?
That's a good question, but I think he has like a problem with his network. So let me tell you. Let me now ask you a question. Miguda will come and answer that. You're looking at the coalition that is happening, you know, and what should they do, because we've seen such like coalitions being formed, especially during an election like this. And to bring you back, remember when there was a coalition of Ford Kenya, you know, people of Ford Kenya came together, the position they wanted to unseat Moi. Then what happened? The Ford Kenya splitted into Ford Asili and Ford Kenya, and that one made Moi to win the election. What can the oppositions do, especially those who are coming together, so that they make sure that they win? Because their main aim right now is unseat President William Ruto come 2027.
As you have mentioned, that their main aim is unseating the president come 2027. I think they have a reason why they want to unseat him. One, it
Yep.
could be that they're not satisfied with how Ruto is running the government.
Mm.
It could be because of the high cost of, commodities and everything. It could be the suffering economy. It could be high level of unemployment. They have, it could be the dictatorship that we are seeing, lack of respect to the constitution,
Yeah.
lack of, respect of human rights. Those might be the reasons why they're saying that their their plan is unseating the president come 2027.
Mhm.
So what I can say is, if they're truly united with those things which I've mentioned,
Yeah.
or if they're truly united with issues which are truly affecting the people of Kenya, then there's a possibility
Yeah.
that the people of Kenya would listen to them. But if they're united by their selfish greed or individual interest, then automatically along the way we are going to see serious disagreements. Because remember,
Mhm.
whenever they're going to get united based on their interest,
Yeah.
then of course there's a point at which they will get,
Yeah.
and then they will totally not understand each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is my take on that.
Mhm.
But if they want to work together, I think the only thing is first understand the issues
Yeah.
which are affecting the people of Kenya, and then they focus on that.
Yeah.
They should not just focus on getting him out without, having reasons
Mhm.
and preaching about those reasons, and also giving the people of Kenya
Yeah.
an assurance on how they're going to tackle those issues
Mhm.
once they're given the opportunity to lead.
Okay, thank you so much. And you know, when you look at the coalition or proposed, or the way we are seeing how people are going to have a coalition, the people who are going to have a coalition, they're not very new to the politics. These are the same figures who have always been here in politics. The only difference is that in politics there's no hatred and there's no enmity. It depends how it works when your interests are covered. Because like, what is it new that they are going to bring? For instance, we are talking of Eugene Wamalo. Eugene Wamalo has been in the executive, or has been in government as long as I know, because from the time of Uhuru Kenyatta, 2 terms he was supporting the government. Then the only time that he has not been in the government is right now, when President William Ruto is in power. Talking about Kalonzo Musyoka, you know, these are the people who disagreed with Rigathi Gachagua during Azimio Kenya Kwanza. So what is new that they're going to bring into the country with their new coalition pact that is being developed?
Okay. The people of Kenya have been very consistent, especially the youths, and they're saying that it is high time that they're only going to support new people in the political limelight,
Yeah,
and that is why they're saying that we're not going to give opportunities to people who have had the opportunity,
yeah,
people who have been in government for 10, 20, 40 years, and so far there's nothing new that they've done.
yeah,
And there's no any miracle that can work even if they're given the opportunity to serve in those positions, because
yeah,
they've had enough time of they had enough time to change the problems and all these things that the people of Kenya are going through. But even in those positions, they've never taken their expertise or knowledge in leadership to ensure that they deal with those issues which are being raised by the people of Kenya. And that is why the people of Kenya are currently saying that we need people who have not been in the political class. We need fresh people, because the moment we give a chance to the political class, we've seen them inviting back and appointing those who have been in politics for quite some time. And that is what we are even seeing in this government. And partly the reason why this government is failing is because they are trying to honor their old friends, political old friends, political cronies, more than what the people of Kenya wants. And this is a problem uh, to the leadership and the running of the government. And that is why it is so tough for this government to even ensure that they fulfill the promises that they give the people of Kenya. When a government focuses more on rewarding friends and political cronies, automatically they lose their sight on delivering or ensuring that they perform based on what they had told the people. And so we are very focused as a people. We are saying that we are no longer going to condole giving chances to political class or political members who have been in politics for quite some time, because we know that there is nothing new that they're going to bring forth. You are muted.
you are going to explain to us after Miguda, because you're using the plural, you, us. So I don't know you and who, but you will explain to us there. Miguda, thank you so much for coming back. It seems that you have a problem with your internet, but now my question to you is, do you see any defeating coalition when you look at the DPK, the Gachagua, and everybody going to compete with President William Ruto?
Defeating William Ruto, let us also be realistic. It's not a walk in the park.
True.
And any opposition that is forming formidably, defeat William Ruto, they must bear in mind the person they are dealing with. And in the case of the formation of DAPK, Kalonzo, Rigiji, and other friends, they need to be selfless, in my view. They need to put their ambitions aside. They need to support one of their. It doesn't need even to be one of them. Let them just settle on a leader who is popular among the Kenyan people and who people view can transform the country economically. In my view, if they can put their political differences aside, their ambitions, and support one fully, even the running mate should not be one of them. The person, and I usually propose new face, or new formation, or new people, new blood that can persuade people, and let them campaign for that person. In my view, that person can go beyond tribal look of the politics of the country. The way Atwoli was saying that our politics is tribal-based politics, it is not issue-based politics. But I can assure Atwoli that whenever we have got a very viable candidate, we can go beyond the ethnic-based politics and vote based on the issue-based person. So in my view, the people must be selfless. They must set aside their ambitions and set on someone who will resonate so well with Kenyan people.
Okay, thank you so much. And we are also looking at a constituency or a constituency that has been developed. Thus, we are talking about the Gen Z, that majority of these coalitions will be relying on, especially because these are the people who are going to influence the next general election. If they register massively, they're going to make decision of the 2027 general election. What if the Gen Z are there and they have their demand that we want our person to be the head of the coalition, to be running as a presidency? Do you think the leaders can put aside their interest and say that, okay, we are supporting you?
That is where we have difficulties. First, even if you look at the formation, the people, first, in that formation alone, they are representing their own interest. And you heard them saying, and I want to quote Rigiji. Rigiji said that the logbook of that coalition will be from Mount Kenya. That logbook will be owned by Mount Kenya people, the logbook of the coalition. In my view, they have started to divide the position for themselves. And even if they want to bring it to the Gen Z, but Gen Z were very clear that it doesn't need to be them. Doesn't need to be a Gen Z were very comfortable with anybody, provided that you are persuaded that constitutes that you can transform to the republic, then we are good to go with you. But this issue you are asking is a very critical one, because in my view, the formation alone, the face alone, they have different interests. Maybe they can propose someone to be the presidential candidate and another person to be the running mate, but the person who has proposed them might be micromanaging them, might be influencing them. We don't want a president who is being micromanaged by somebody because somebody bring votes or because somebody made a formation. It is very dangerous, because it's like our president will be micromanaging someone who was not elected.
Yeah.
Because they are saying they want to bring new formation. What if this formation? If, for instance, I propose something and invest in that quest with all my money, my time, I invested it. I will like, I want this position for CS to go to my region. I want this position for CS to go to my region. I want this teller to go to me. I want this she and sha to go to me, because I made the president. This issue of making people president want it. That's why someone is being told now, we made you the president. You must.
Okay, just fix your mic. Makubura, has you answered the word we, because you use it as, because that was a very plural name. I want you also to look at it and say that, okay, now how will they navigate the position or the positions that they usually give? Because in the coalitions that we've always seen, the larger region with the larger numbers usually get very lucrative position. They don't look at the qualification of the person, but provided you can consolidate your region and you have a very good number, the chances of you being given presidency, deputy president, or prime cabinet secretary is very high. How is this coalition going to deal with such historical decisions that have always been made in the political field?
Okay, thank you. I think my take on that is it is a political style that is actually causing us as a country, because more of the problems that we are facing is, as a people, as a citizen, is we've given chance to political leaders who then goes ahead to appoint their political cronies or political friends. And whenever these friends are given a chance, most of them, for example, if I can give you a clear example of what happened in the Kenya Kwanza government when they were coming in, if you remember, for example, the likes of Honorable Aisha Jomwa, for example, you're not saying that they're not worthy or anything, but let the truth be said. When it comes to expertise or knowledge in the particular field that they were given, it is true that they are not able, they do not have the expertise or the knowledge to run those dockets. And what we saw was the people of Kenya were unable to get the services of the government. And it went to an extent where the only language that the government would listen to, so that maybe they would know what the people were going through, is the demonstrations which were carried out in the entire country. That is a clear clarification that the government, the political leaders, whenever they get into power, they tend to forget about the needs of the people. They tend to forget, and the people that they appoint to very critical dockets are their political cronies. They tend to forget the experts in those fields. And that is why you've even seen that the president not so long ago, he said that majority of cabinet secretaries were not even aware of what was happening in their docket. The only thing they knew very little, that he, the president, understood so many things that were happening under their docket, and these people were not really understanding. I think there is a clarification,
Yeah.
a clear clarification that if we proceed, even if the government that is going to come or future governments, when we take too much time in giving favors to our political cronies or friends, then we totally get to a point where we lose the sight, we'll actually forget the meaning of leadership and what we are called to do, or we'll forget even the needs of the people. In more instance, we've seen them giving political friends, and then these political friends get into corrupt dealings, and it is tough for them to even fire them or to send them away. And that is why we've seen corruption getting too high in the republic.
Yeah.
That is why we see corruption in different dockets, just because these people have that privilege of being closer to the president, and so in their minds they have that ease of just embezzling or getting themselves involved in corrupt dealings.
So
Yes,
so Makobura, all those that you've said, yeah, those are the things that now are facing the coalition. How are they going to make sure that those are going to be done away with at the coalition level, so that when they're coming in with the view that the corruption, those who are corrupt, those who have corrupt faces are not going to be there. We are not going to give somebody presidential ticket just because he has the majority in terms of their region. We are not going to give somebody the deputy president because you are the second in numbers, but we are going to give on the merit. How is the coalition going to deal with that?
We are still on a tough ground.
Yeah.
It is still tough for us, even this coalition that is coming.
Yeah.
If they're truly focused on getting him out, getting the president out, automatically, suppose they manage to win, they would want to, come together as friends, political friends, and that is where we will see all of them in the political appointments. And this is where, again, we are going to lose everything. I think the best thing we need to do is the people of Kenya are focused, led by the youths, and not just the youth, even the people in the middle, people are middle aged.
Yeah.
And their all focus is ensuring that they bring back the lost glory in the Republic of Kenya.
Yeah.
They should focus on listening to the ground,
Mm.
and the whole thing of coming together as political friends.
Yeah.
Let it be a call of let it be a call of going to ensure that they listen to the people of Kenya and that their needs are solved.
Okay.
But if they turn it to something else, whereby they're now going to get appointment based on what they did, this fallacy of, for example, I am coming from the Nyanza region.
Yeah.
And then maybe I joined that coalition, and then along the way I'll be told that I brought the votes from Nyanza region. Those are fallacy. Those are rhetoric or messages which are not really helping the people of Kenya.
Okay.
As much as we are ambassadors or advertisers,
yeah,
it is the people. The whole thing matters. The voice of the people really matters. If they have decided that they're going to elect you. I think that should be respected, and I should not be rewarded based on a group of votes. So because I'm coming from this different place or I'm coming from this place, and now I've brought, it should not be looked into that angle. That is my opinion.
Okay, thank you so much. And tomorrow I will be having Jiru Mwaura here, and we will be discussing about the same, especially the leaders who are having coalition and what is the role of the people of Kenya. Have we transcended and or have we passed the tribalism Rubicon, or have we surpassed the regionalism? Have we surpassed the politics of personalization? Have we surpassed the politics of coming together with a common goal to unseat somebody, but not to solve the issues that Kenyans are facing? Because, like, if you look at the majority of our elections, the only election that everybody came on board was the one where Kibaki won, where they wanted to unseat President Moi, the former president. But the subsequent election has always not been Kenya-based, issue-based. So tomorrow, Jiru Mwaura will be here. And if you're here for the very first time, don't forget to subscribe to the channel of Brother Benson Media, where your opinion counts. Miguda, it's you that I'm coming on. If you were very keen enough, all the videos that are going around is about the deputy president going bare knuckle with the president, or telling him of how the state house is the center of corruption, telling him how the affordable housing. But there's something here that is very, very, very crucial about when people are protesting. I think it's also time that he should tell us who were in charge of the men and women, the heroes, the young heroes and heroines of Kenya who lost their life on 2025 of last year, that is June. What can you say about that?
We, the people of Kenya, we still demand. Actually, we demand from the Gachagua to spill more beans. We want him to spill more beans about this review, because it's like whatever is sitting us right now, he used to know them, but because he was in the government, he could not disclose to anybody. But now it's disclosed to us. And these are the things people have been saying about the affordable housing. And remember, affordable housing the people who have payslips have been complaining about it, because there is much they are deducting from the payslip for those people who are civil servants. In my view, the Gachagua need to spill more beans. We expect him to spill more beans. We don't expect, we demand let him expose the government as he can expose the government, because it is good for the people to understand whatever is going on in the government. And the issue of corruption, I'm glad, because initially it used to be Raila who used to talk about the issue of corruption in this country. But right now there are other people, there are more Railas, like Rigathi Gachagua, who can speak about corruption without any fear or contradiction. He spoke about the shisha. People have been complaining about the shisha, but now sometimes he might be speaking the truth, because he was the former deputy president. He served as the second in command, and he understood whatever was going on between the executive and other administration. He understands the shisha process, he understands the affordable housing. And in my view, let him spill more beans, other than you have asked about the people who killed the previous people in the demonstration. We also need to know if you go to X space, people are asking, not me, but people are asking that let him also tell us who killed General Ogola. People are asking that question. That is not from my opinion. I saw it somewhere on X space that let him expose everything that happened in this regime while he was serving as the deputy president. It means there are some instruction you are receiving. He even stated that he was receiving instruction from junior staff, someone who is a PA to Mr. President. He is deciding for a deputy president what he should say, what he should not say, what he should defend, what he should not defend. As if he's carrying for deputy president his brain. No, that office is independent and is the principal assistant of the president. Doesn't need to get instruction from junior staffs, from friends of somebody, from someone's PA. He ought to have been independent. But it's good to say that during that time he was in office, he could not disclose things because of the oath of office he took. And he could not disclose things because the mutual respect they have with the president. But currently he's an outsider now, he can expose things. But I'm just urging former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua kindly expose more, give the public more information about the government. it's very useful for the forthcoming election.
Okay, thank you for that, for giving us your view. I just wanted to acknowledge the presence of Judith Karita, Brenda Obedi, Eric Ayaga, Alfred Ambonya, and Gypsy Corn. Kwa wale ambao wanatutazama, tunashukuru sana. If you're new to this channel, this is Brother Benson Media. Kindly like and subscribe to the channel. I just wanted to go through the comments. I can see Eric is saying that, and then maybe you'll give your opinion on the comments that are here. Atuli is an agent of darkness. When he supports you, you take a mirror and look at yourself 40 times. Okay, he's also saying that I said very well. I am not in government. At the same time, I am not in opposition. Anyone who wants my solid stand, I am standing on a rock called Babu Owino, and we shall make our plans clear. Alfred is saying Ruto will win. Alafu Judith hapa anauliza Eric anafaa kuwe na msimamo. Should not be neutral. It's either you're in government or opposition. Okay. I'm past that stage of just opposing or supporting to make anyone happy. Babu Owino and Ndindi Nyoro are still quiet, so we shall confuse you. By the way, Mr. Mega, what is your take on the silence of the two young politicians, that is Babu Owino and Ndindi Nyoro? Remember, a majority of Kenyans are talking about Babu Owino when you go to the western Nyanza side, and then in the Mount Kenya region, Ndindi Nyoro is also jina ya Ndindi Nyoro iko kwa mdomo ya watu wengi. So people are asking so many questions. What is your take on the silence of these two gentlemen?
The silence of Babu Owino might be informed with many things. Personally, I've decided to go to ground and try to question all the people on the ground, not in the city. Actually, I've questioned millennials personally, and I've questioned all people about the politics of Luo Nyanza, succession politics, and that of Babu Owino. Actually, if you are Babu Owino, you could be quite quiet, because Babu Owino is facing a lot of fights within ODM. There are people who are fighting him to death. The Babu Owino is still facing a lot of controversies on the other side, because there are people who believe that anybody who did not impeach Gachagua was an agent of Gachagua, which is not the case. It's like you don't need to have your own opinion. If you have your own opinion, or if you have your own brain, they just want you to operate under one's brain, or to operate under someone's instruction, that the position of the party was this. So the question is, who brought that position of the party? Because the party cannot bring that position by itself. It means there is somebody decided for the party. But it might be, if I feel like when regarding Gachagua and William Ruto were friends, were in a union, I was not called to bring them together in that union. But now if they want to divorce, I'm being called out to come and assist them to divorce. That is nonsensical. If regarding Gachagua and William Ruto were in a union and they were very united, I was not part and parcel to that unity. Now they want to divorce. Then you are bringing me in to come and assist the divorce. I'm supporting Babu Owino, though the people I was talking to were against me, but that's my position. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But the point was very clear. You can't expect Babu Owino to assist somebody to divorce or to assist somebody to part ways. Then what is he going to gain? And politics all about interest. The same people want Babu Owino to assist them to send Gachagua away. They are opposing Babu Owino to the governor of Nairobi. Then how do you expect me to support you? Then I agree with Babu Owino 100%. Let no one carry for you your brain. You are independent mind. It doesn't matter. Even if you are not elected, me, Makobura, and I, all of us, we are not elected, but we are living. Are you not living? You are living. It doesn't matter. You don't need to be elected to live. Even we still living, there is life even after politics, but let no one use you and dump you the way some were used and dumped to separate other people. Babu, we know another thing why he's quiet, because it's also good for it to be quiet right now, because there are so many realignments and formations. Let him also strategize. And most importantly, why he's quiet, he's also playing hard to get. And he must play hard to get because he's not an ordinary politician. We understand him. He's one of the superstars in that politics of the national politics. If you talk about national politics, you must mention names like Babu Owino, Dindi Nyoro. On the other hand, Dindi Nyoro is also playing hard to get because it's more of a confusion. Dindi Nyoro is a national leader, but now the people are forming formations. They want to exclude him. That's why we are doing the line. These young people are national leaders, but whenever there is a table for national discussion, they are being excluded. People are coming like Kalonzo, Matiang'I are dropping in, Eugene, Rigiji, on the other hand, Ruto, Raila. But these young leaders are being excluded. They are only being used as a tool during campaign to mobilize youth, to speak the language of youth, to attract youth on rallies. But when it comes to the national discourse, these two leaders are being on. That's why they have to play hard to get. Makubra, in my view, those two young legislatures are the future of this country, but they are being fought by these current leaders. They don't want them to emerge because Didi Nyoro is popular beyond Kihar. Babu Win is popular beyond Nairobi. And we are yet to hear from them because we have had people, there's people who are just waiting to work. Some of us, we are not interested in this thing of you struggling about presidency. We want to transform our counties. If you can get a viable government we believe in, then we just follow that government. And this issue of political parties is high time that we decide by ourselves that let non-political parties decide for us. You can have your opinion within a political party, but it doesn't mean that if you have your opinion within a political party, then you are an enemy to the opponent. Let me give you an example. Before the broad-based government, there were some rumors and speculations that Babu Owino was working for William Ruto. Currently, the guys who are working for William Ruto, experts, are now accusing Babu Owino is working with Rigathi Gachagua. It's simple that if you are disagreeing with my position, you are working with my opponent. But if you are agreeing with my position, you are not working with my opponent. What's the difference now between Ruto and Rigiji? Because Ruto was on the other side. Right now, Ruto is with them. Now it is working with Gachagua. Those are the kind of school of thoughts as a young people. We are not going to subscribe to those school of thoughts. And I'll urge even the Millennium Brothers, let us stop this issue of deciding for people. You want to narrow people's thinking to understand that you think your opinion is the best. No, I rather lose. Like me, I'm very clear. I don't mind what's going on, but I rather lose with whom I believe in. When I believe in you as a leader, I'll vote for you. The outcome, I don't care. But this issue of some people want to decide for you, then they want you to follow that decision. But if you have a divergent opinion, then you are being tagged as an enemy. Those are past politics.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your take on that. I just wanted to now ask you about what is happening in the DRC. I don't know if you have some information for us on that. And maybe before I get into that, allow me to read few comments here from Gypsy Corner. Gypsy Corner is asking Eric why Matiang'I has not resigned, but sending his messenger. And then he's also talking about how can he be on a ballot while working abroad. That's a Cornish behavior. Presidency can't be a Zoom operation. This is why they all have to go, including Omtata, whom I used to like. Okay. It's a plain truth. Okay. Yeah, so there's a comment here from Jepsekona that okay, there's that, and then there's this one here from Eric saying that read the constitution, any civil servant can only resign 6 months to election. We shall have 3 years. And then Meguda, you are a bit wrong about there is life after politics. In Kenya, politics controls everything before and after. What the ruling governance does affects our lives. Okay, maybe you can give your opinion on that before we get into what is happening in DRC.
There is life after politics. I was not general that there is life for Kenyans after politics. I was specific to Babu Owino that even before Babu Owino became a member of parliament, he was living, he was having his own life. Even after politics, that he's not going to be elected because he's having a divergent opinion because he's with the people. Their life is not going to stop Babu Owino. He will still live. I was about an elected leader, that an elected leader, you should not be a psychopath because you want power. You rather let power go and side with the people, even if you are not elected, there is life after that election. In fact, let me correct it. There is life after election, not after politics. Because you don't need to be elected because of sacrifice. Let you lose that seat, but you are indeed with the people. That's what I mean by saying that there's life after politics, that Babu will not be living because he's in politics. He can even live even if he's outside the politics. That should go to the opponents of the critics of Babu Owino. But I think I've clarified it.
Okay, thank you. Kenya has condemned an attack on the Kenyan embassy in Kinshasa, that is in DRC. What is your understanding of what is happening in DRC? And not just Kenyan embassy. We saw France embassy, and I think US embassy was also attacked. And I don't know what is happening. Would you kindly brief us on what is happening in DRC? The other day we saw a massive movement by the people carrying their goods, walking, carrying their belongings on their head. And what is it? Why are people fighting in DRC? What is really happening?
In DRC, there is war, not that it's only when people are fighting DRC. There is war. There's war crimes in DRC. And M23 has declared war on the DRC. And they have been there for a quite long time. And United Nations has also sent its soldiers to that land, including Kenyan soldiers are there representing United Nations, because we understand that United Nations does not have a permanent soldiers, but the member state can donate their soldiers in any war crime. Like right now, the war crime in Democratic Republic of Congo, the United Nations has sponsored soldiers, like Kenyans have donated their soldiers to assist the civilians to fight that gang, the M23 gang. And the France soldiers are also on the ground. The United Kingdom soldiers are on the ground. The United States soldiers are on the ground. Those are members of the United Nations. They have decided to donate their soldiers to that land and try to prevent the attack of the gang to lead to civilians. The civilians are being protected by the United Nations soldiers, because in such a war, like war crime, we expect civilians to be protected. And there are also some crimes that can be committed during the war crimes. And those ones will be dealt with at international level, with the people, perpetrators will deal with that international criminal court. Those war crimes, those elements of war crimes will be dealt with at that level. But most importantly, there have been this rumor, or I don't know whether it is factual, but I've heard it several that the Rwandan Republic, the Republic of Rwanda, they are collaborating with the M23 to suppress the civilians. And that is why there was this issue of Mr. Ruto will come and try to talk to Paul Kagame, Shikedi of DRC, two presidents, to see how they can settle the war among the civilians. Because you cannot finish the war, which is actually M23 versus soldiers. That one just by itself. We don't know when it will end. And that war has caused so many harm to the civilians. It has caused so many displacement of the people, injuries, the social properties. Like today, the capital, Kinshasa, was attacked by civilians because I saw it. And civilians specifically attacked the embassy. I don't know why were they attacking the embassy of the United Nations, who have donated their soldiers in their land to protect the civilians against the M23 government. It could be maybe there is how M23, there are some civilians who support M23. You know, when your embassy is attacked, it's like your state has been attacked abroad, because an embassy is a representation of the state in the capital. That's why most of them are in the capital, like in Kinshasa. So when Kenyan embassy was attacked, it's like they have attacked Kenya. I don't know the message they are sending to Kenya that we do not want your soldiers here, or withdraw your soldiers. You don't know the message they are sending to the United Nations that we don't want the soldiers. But remember, the war is not between the civilians, the war is between the M23 who have invaded Congo, and the United Nations sent the soldiers to go and prevent civilians. That could be my brief review about that war.
Okay, fine. That's nice. Douglas here is asking, is it an issue of border dispute or what? Or what? Because this Goma town is just in the border. And then Asili TV2 is saying Goma and Gisne in Rwanda. Okay. Yeah, so I think the cause of war in Congo are, I would actually say they're multi-faced. It is a combination of ethnic tension, political rivalries, corruption, and struggle for control over the valuable natural resources in that country. And the instability was. I mean, this is something that started after the aftermath of what happened in Rwanda, which led to First Congo War in 1996, 1997, and the ongoing battles for power following the country's independence from Belgium. So the war is, there's more that is really involved in this. And if you try dig into why it's going on, you find that there's so many reasons. And part of it is, ethnic tensions, the ethnicity in those countries, political. There's some politicians who are collaborating with others, and then the issues of the available resources, which are so many in that country. So we wouldn't really narrow it to one thing, but I know there's much that is really involved in it, and it's one of the wars which are not really easy to do away with, because when you try to sort uh, the political war, then you'll find them again fighting for the resources. When you try to fight for solve the issue of resources, they'll then go back to the ethnic wars. And so I think the African countries need to unite at the relevant authorities and come up with a way of solving once and for all what is befalling DRC. Because at this rate, if it is not sorted in this generation, I mean, in this era, I don't really think it's a good thing for the people, because it's so wrong that people are fighting left, right, and center. There's a movement, massive movement of people from their homes to unknown places. Yeah, so that is all I know about it. Maybe Miguda, you can add something on it before we close.
I can just add that we understand Congo, there's rich minerals in that country, and there are major interested parties in those minerals. Maybe the civilian might view that by going to protect them against the gang are interested about on their minerals. That could be the reason why some of them decided to attack the embassies. That's just assumption, not that it is a factual thing on the ground. Those who are not good, and at any point in life we try by any means to prevent any war. War should be avoided by all cost, and war should not be allowed. And whenever there is a war, it should be declared, because of, you understand, history of wars, the World War One, World War Two. You understand those wars. Therefore, it was so decided by the direction that war should be avoided at all costs, and in case there is war, you must declare that. And there are also regulations that regulate war. There are those laws that regulate war, that whenever you are in a war, like the one we are seeing right in DRC, it's more of a war crime, and there's some intervention, there's some humanitarian intervention. And in case there is a humanitarian intervention, there is an intervention to human population in that country. The people can decide to use force against that separation. The people can decide to defend their independence, because DRC is an independent state, and whenever there is an indication that they want to lose their independence, they can come out and defend their independence. The people also have that right to defend their territorial integrity, whereby you cannot allow anybody to go into that and invade the territory. You can use force to defend that territorial integrity, and most importantly, you can use force to defend your sovereignty as a country. Therefore, those people, we might be defending their independence, territorial integrity, and sovereignty. It is within the scope of the intervention, intervention. That's why I can classify it as a war crime currently. Under that war crime, there will be suspect or perpetrators. They will be dealt with at international level, the way I've told you, because the human rights lives in that country matter. Those human rights, the state cannot protect your rights. The state can no longer protect that right for you. There is an international body that come in and protect that right for you. And that is why there is a United Nations army currently on the ground to protect that right, because it is no longer, it's always a state responsibility to protect your right, but currently the state has ignored that right and they are unable to protect it. Now, I think they will deal with it at national level, and that is the basic part of it, Makobura.
Okay, thank you. Silly TV anasema, I think the ECG ni salamu ohoro waku omode. Okay, I don't know. He's also saying that it is not a border dispute. Congo claims that M23 is sponsored by Museveni, and DRC claims that the refugees in DRC are Rwandese. Museveni insists that they are Congolese of Rwanda origin. And he's also saying that Congo wants the refugee back to Rwanda. Kagame insists they are Congolese. I mean, Yeah, so there's much that is really happening. There's much that is causing the whole tension in Congo. What did you say on the attack on Kenyan embassy, the attack on France embassy and the US embassy? Was it really justifiable? What is the reason for that?
It is not justifiable because that's why I told you that it will deal with it at international level, because whenever you attack an embassy in a foreign state, it's like attacking that state, because that embassy is a representation of the state in that foreign state. And in my view, I just look at it that maybe the people, because it's the people attacked, not the armed soldiers never. I saw the people on the street who attacked. It might be the people might look at it that these states like Kenya, United Kingdom, France, US have sent their soldiers here to suppress us. Now they're sending signals that we don't want our soldiers here. Maybe that's just assumption, not that is factual. The issue of Congolese and the issue of refugees, in my view, refugees have a right. They have refugee status in each country they are. Whenever you are as a refugee, once you have been registered as a refugee, you have the status, you have a right as a refugee, and you are prepared to be the scopes of institution as a refugee. And you can have some services within it. It's more about citizenship, whereby a refugee has a right to migrate. Refugees are no longer in custody. They have a right to access education. They have a right to access medication. They have a right even to marry and to be married in that country. They have a right even to, for instance, if I'm a refugee and I want to go abroad to further my studies, I can access, because I have a refugee passport, I can access the air ticket and further my studies, even if my condition health-wise required an attention with an expert, maybe from India or from the New York. I can as well move to those countries to get my medical attention if I'm a refugee. A refugee doesn't mean that you are now disclosed, or you are now, you don't have a right to move, you don't have a right to participate. Even refugees participate in the democratic space elections, they participate in many things. There's a distinction between a refugee and an asylum seeker. Asylum seeker has not yet required the status of a refugee, but a refugee has required status, has been registered, and has the right, just like another person, to operate and do his services in that country. So there's no need of you sending a refugee back home, because once you're a refugee, you have the status. Unless you're an asylum seeker, you have not yet been identified, or you have not yet been given a status of a refugee, then they can suppress you. But a refugee has a right to be protected, just like another person.
Okay. Thank you for giving us that. Making us understand what is happening and also your view. I think you're coming towards the end. Maybe, yeah, so I want to take this opportunity to really say thank you to Asili TV, Gypsy Corner, Ayaga, Douglas, Eric, Judith, Brenda, and everyone who commented or gave us the opinion via the comment section. We really appreciate, and we hope that you'll join us tomorrow. We'll have a guest tomorrow at 8 p.m. Kenyan time. Kindly join. I really appreciate the fact that you took your time to join us. Mr. Miguda, also, thank you so much for finding time to join. I now just want to take this opportunity to wish all of you well. I want to wish you all a blessed evening, a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon from wherever you are. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. Asanteni sana. See you tomorrow.